a land where emerald mountains rise above the sea, and great rivers carry the spirit of the wild across an endless horizon. Here, golden beaches, tropical islands, and thunderous waterfalls shape a landscape both untamed and unforgettable. Colonial towns, vibrant cities, and hidden natural wonders reveal a country rich in beauty, contrast, and soul. Beneath the rhythm of samba and the warmth of the sun, Brazil tells stories of indigenous heritage, African roots, and Portuguese legacy woven together through the centuries. In its streets, forests, and coastal harbors, life moves with color, passion, and irresistible energy. The echoes of celebration, faith, and adventure can be felt in its architecture, its music, and its enduring spirit. From the iconic shores of Rio de Janeiro to the vast depths of the Amazon, from the roaring majesty of Iguazu Falls to the wildlife-rich plains of the Pantanal, from the colonial charm of Salvador to the surreal dunes of Lençóis Maranhenses, Brazil reveals a world of stunning diversity and breathtaking wonder. A land of rhythm and rainforest, of heritage and natural splendor. This is Brazil. Let us explore the most beautiful and captivating places across this extraordinary land. Rio de Janeiro is one of the most emblematic coastal cities in Brazil and one of the defining urban landscapes of the South Atlantic. Located on Brazil's Atlantic coast at the entrance to Guanabara Bay, it is shaped by beaches, steep granite peaks, and forested mountains that rise directly beside the sea. More than a famous destination, Rio is a city where geography itself defines identity. This is a city shaped by terrain. Daily life unfolds between mountain slopes and water, from the heights of Corcovado and Tijuca to Sugarloaf and the shoreline below. Here, the relationship between nature and urban life feels immediate and inseparable. The city does not simply sit beside the landscape, but grows through it, adapting to its contours, its light, and its dramatic coastal setting. What makes Rio de Janeiro significant is not only its beauty, but its structure. It is a threshold between sea and mountain, between dense city life and tropical scenery, and between iconic imagery and lived reality. Rio feels expansive, energetic, and intensely visual, with the bay and the Atlantic giving the city a sense of scale, openness, and movement. In the sweep of its coastline and the rise of its granite heights, Rio de Janeiro reveals another side of Brazil. It is not only a city of spectacle, but of rhythm, landscape, and continuity between nature and everyday life. Rio stands as a living meeting point of mountain, forest, bay, and ocean, where the spirit of the city is inseparable from the land and water that surround it. Iguazu Falls is one of the most extraordinary natural landmarks in Brazil and one of the most powerful waterfall systems in the world. Located in the far south of the country near the border with Argentina, it lies within Iguazu National Park, a vast protected area of subtropical forest and river landscape. Unlike coastal destinations shaped by cities, beaches, or maritime life, Iguazu is defined by water, scale, and the overwhelming force of nature. This is a landscape shaped by the river. Here, the Iguazu River breaks into a vast chain of falls, cliffs, mist, and forest, creating an environment where movement is constant and the natural setting feels immense. The surrounding national park gives the falls their full context, preserving not only the dramatic viewpoints, but also the dense vegetation, wildlife, and ecological richness that make the region feel complete rather than isolated. What makes Iguazu especially significant is not only its visual grandeur, but its physical presence. It is a threshold between river and forest, between stillness and impact, and between scenic beauty and raw natural power. The falls do not feel ornamental or distant. They feel immediate, elemental, and deeply alive, with sound, moisture, and scale shaping the entire experience of the place. In the roar of its water and the depth of its surrounding forest, Iguazu reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a place of urban rhythm or human monumentality, but of force, immersion, and natural continuity. Iguazu Falls and Iguazu National Park stand as one of the clearest expressions of Brazil's wild grandeur, where river, forest, and stone meet in a landscape of lasting intensity. The Amazon rainforest, centered around Manaus and the wider Amazon basin, is one of the most immense natural regions in Brazil and one of the defining forest landscapes of the world. Located in northern Brazil, it is shaped by vast river systems, dense tropical forest, and a scale that feels almost beyond measure. Manaus stands on the Rio Negro and serves as one of the main gateways into this immense rainforest world. This is a region shaped by water. Here, rivers are not secondary features but the main structure of the landscape, carrying people, goods, and daily life through forested distances that roads can rarely replace. Around Manaus, the relationship between city and wilderness feels unusually direct, with the urban edge opening outward into river channels, flooded forests, and an environment of immense ecological depth. What makes the Amazon around Manaus significant is not only its size, but its function. It is a threshold between city and forest, between inhabited space and biological abundance, and between the visible life of the river and the hidden complexity of the basin beyond. The region feels less like a single destination and more like a vast living system, where water, vegetation, climate, and distance all shape the experience of place. In the stillness of its dark waters and the depth of its endless canopy, the Amazon reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a place defined by monumentality in the human sense, but by scale, immersion, and natural continuity. The Amazon rainforest, with Manaus at its edge, stands as a living gateway to one of the richest and most expansive environments on Earth, where river, forest, and atmosphere shape every experience of the land. The Pantanal is one of the most remarkable natural regions in Brazil and one of the largest tropical wetlands in the world. Located mainly in the western part of the country, it is defined by seasonal flooding, open plains, winding rivers, and an extraordinary abundance of wildlife. Unlike the Amazon, which is shaped by dense forest and immense scale, The Pantanal is defined by openness, visibility, and the constant presence of water across the land. This is a landscape shaped by cycles. Here, rain and flood transform the terrain, creating a living system of wetlands, grasslands, lagoons, and river channels that change with the seasons. The rhythm of the Pantanal is tied to water, and with it comes one of the richest concentrations of animal life in South America. What makes the Pantanal especially significant is not only its biodiversity, but its clarity. It is a threshold between land and water, between stillness and movement, and between wild nature and the fragile balance that sustains it. The region feels vast, quiet, and deeply alive, where every open horizon suggests the presence of birds, caimans, jaguars, and countless other species moving through the wetland. In the still waters, broad skies, and flooded plains of the Pantanal, Brazil reveals another side of its natural identity. It is not a place of dense enclosure or dramatic monumentality, but of space, rhythm, and ecological richness. The Pantanal stands as one of the clearest expressions of Brazil's wild openness, where water, wildlife, and seasonal transformation shape a landscape of rare beauty and enduring power. Fernando de Noronha is one of the most remarkable island destinations in Brazil and one of the defining marine landscapes of the South Atlantic. Located off the northeastern coast of the country, the archipelago is known for its volcanic character, protected waters, and exceptional natural beauty. Unlike mainland destinations shaped by cities, rivers, or broad inland landscapes, Fernando de Noronha is defined by isolation, clarity, and the close relationship between land and sea. This is a place shaped by the ocean. Here, steep cliffs, hidden coves, and clear blue waters create a landscape that feels both dramatic and serene. The islands are surrounded by a marine environment of unusual richness, where sea life, coastal birds, and untouched shorelines give the archipelago a strong sense of ecological presence. What makes Fernando de Noronha especially significant is not only its beauty, but its condition. It is a threshold between volcanic land and open Atlantic water, between fragile ecosystems and careful preservation, and between scenic splendor and natural restraint. The archipelago feels remote, luminous, and deeply protected, as though its identity depends on remaining partly untouched by the modern world. In its cliffs, quiet beaches, and intensely transparent waters, Fernando de Noronha reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a place of urban energy or monumental scale, but of balance, purity, and marine stillness. Fernando de Noronha stands as a living outpost of Brazil's Atlantic world, where rock, water, and biodiversity meet in a landscape of rare beauty and enduring calm. Lençóis Maranhenses is one of the most extraordinary natural landscapes in Brazil and one of the most surreal dune regions in the world. Located in northeastern Brazil, it is defined by vast white sand dunes and seasonal freshwater lagoons that appear between them during the rainy season. Although it may resemble a desert at first glance, this is a landscape shaped not by dryness alone, but by wind, rain, and constant transformation. This is a place shaped by contrast. Here, endless stretches of pale sand meet clear pools of blue and green, creating a scene that feels both minimal and alive. The dunes rise and fall like waves across the horizon, while the temporary lagoons bring movement, reflection, and renewal to an otherwise austere landscape. What makes Lençóis Maranhenses especially significant is not only its beauty, but its improbability. It is a threshold between dryness and water, between emptiness and abundance, and between simplicity and surprise. The region feels open, luminous, and almost unreal, as though it exists somewhere between coastline, wetland, and dream. In its silent dunes and rain-filled lagoons, Lençóis Maranhenses reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a place of dense forest or urban intensity, but of light, space, and natural transformation. Lençóis Maranhenses stands as one of the most singular landscapes in the country, where sand, water, and horizon meet in a scene of rare purity and quiet wonder. Salvador de Bahia is one of the most vivid cultural landscapes in Brazil and one of the most resonant Afro-Brazilian cities in the world. Located on the northeastern coast of Brazil, it is defined by its colonial streets, its layered hillsides above the bay, and a daily rhythm shaped by tides, sound, and ritual. Although it may resemble a simple seaside city at first glance, this is a landscape shaped not by calmness alone, but by history, migration, resistance, and continuous reinvention. This is a place shaped by memory and movement. Here, pastel-colored facades overlook the deep blue of All Saints Bay, while church bells, drums, and distant chants rise and fall through the narrow streets. The hills descend toward the waterfront like cascading terraces of stone and color, while markets, plazas, and balconies bring constant motion, reflection, and encounter to the urban fabric. What makes Salvador de Bahia especially significant is not only its beauty, but its layered presence. It is a threshold between Africa and the Americas, between sacred and everyday life, and between visible history and the stories carried in sound and gesture. The city feels open, rhythmic, and almost suspended in time, as though it exists somewhere between port, sanctuary, and living archive. In its quiet courtyards, crowded squares, and music-filled nights, Salvador de Bahia reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a place of silent dunes or remote wilderness, but of voice, cadence, and cultural transformation. Salvador de Bahia stands as one of the most singular urban landscapes in the country, where stone, sea, and memory meet in a scene of rare intensity and unfolding meaning. Brasília is one of the most distinctive cities in Brazil and one of the most ambitious urban capitals of the modern world. Located in the country's central highlands, it was built to serve as the national capital and to project a new vision of Brazil through planning, space, and design. Unlike older Brazilian cities shaped by colonial streets, ports, or organic growth, Brasilia is defined by geometry, openness, and the deliberate logic of modernism. This is a city shaped by design. Its monumental avenues, vast civic spaces, and carefully ordered layout create an urban landscape that feels structured, symbolic, and unmistakably intentional. Government buildings, residential superblocks, and sweeping public plazas reflect a vision in which architecture and national identity were meant to develop together. What makes Brasilia especially significant is not only its appearance, but its purpose. It is a threshold between political power and urban idealism, between architectural abstraction and daily life, and between the imagination of a nation and its physical expression in space. The city feels spacious, controlled, and intensely visual, where scale and symmetry shape the experience of movement and place. In its broad horizons and modernist forms, Brasilia reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a city of coastal rhythm or colonial intimacy, but of vision, order, and national ambition. Brasilia stands as a living statement of Brazil's modern identity, where architecture, planning, and political purpose meet on the high plateau of the country's interior. Paraty is one of the most atmospheric historic towns in Brazil, and one of the most distinctive coastal settlements between Rio de Janeiro and São Paulo. Located on Brazil's southeastern coast, it is known for its preserved colonial character, stone-paved streets, and close relationship with both the sea and the surrounding mountains. Unlike larger coastal cities defined by scale, speed, or modern expansion, Paraty is defined by intimacy, continuity, and a strong sense of place. This is a town shaped by water and terrain. Its historic center rests between the bay and the steep green slopes of the Atlantic forest, creating a setting where architecture and landscape remain closely bound to one another. The harbor, the streets, and the whitewashed buildings reflect a place formed by trade, movement, and the long rhythms of coastal life. What makes Paraty especially significant is not only its beauty, but its atmosphere. It is a threshold between sea and forest, between colonial memory and living culture, and between quiet daily life and the wider history of Brazil's coast. The town feels calm, textured, and deeply rooted, where every alley, facade, and waterfront view carries a sense of endurance. In its cobbled lanes, sheltered bay, and mountain-framed horizon, Paraty reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a place of grand scale or urban intensity, but of character, balance, and historical depth. Paraty stands as a living meeting point of coast, culture, and memory, where sea, stone, and tropical landscape come together in one of Brazil's most enduringly beautiful towns. Jericoacoara is one of the most distinctive coastal destinations in Brazil, and one of the most evocative landscapes of the country's northeastern shore. Located in the state of Ceará, it is known for its sweeping dunes, broad beaches, calm lagoons, and windswept atmosphere shaped by sun, sand, and sea. Unlike larger resort centers defined by urban scale or dense development, Jericoacoara is defined by simplicity, openness, and a strong sense of natural setting. This is a place shaped by wind. Here, dunes shift across the edge of the village, sandy streets replace paved avenues, and the coastline unfolds in long, bright curves beneath an immense sky. The surrounding landscape feels fluid and elemental, with lagoons, sea breezes, and shifting light giving the region a character that is both relaxed and dramatic. What makes Jericoacoara especially significant is not only its beauty, but its atmosphere. It is a threshold between village and wilderness, between stillness and movement, and between the raw textures of nature and the quiet rhythms of coastal life. The place feels airy, remote, and deeply luminous, where daily life remains closely tied to the climate, the landscape, and the sea. In its dunes, lagoons, and wind-shaped horizon, Jericoacoara reveals another side of Brazil. It is not a place of monumentality or historical weight, but of space, light, and elemental harmony. Jericoacoara stands as a living meeting point of sand, wind, and ocean, where the spirit of the coast feels both untamed and deeply at peace.